It's time to wake up. Traffic and weather, your music matters. Plus news and fun with Paul Dilks.
I love a piano, I love a piano. I love to hear somebody play upon a piano, a grand piano. It simply carries me away. I get a huge kick on an acoustic. I love to run my fingers o'er the keys, the ivories, and with the pedal I love to meddle. When Paderewski comes this way, I'm so delighted to be invited to hear a long-haired genius play. So you can keep your fiddle and your bow. I want a P-I-A-N-O-O-O. I want to stop right beside an upright or a high-toned baby grand. I get a huge kick on an acoustic. I love to run my fingers o'er the keys, the ivories, and with the pedal I love to meddle. When Paderewski comes this way, I'm so delighted to be invited to hear a long-haired genius play. So you can keep your fiddle and your bow. I want a P-I-A-N-O-O-O. I want to stop right beside an upright or a high-toned baby grand.
And that was Tony DeSare's version of I Love a Piano, that Irving Berlin classic. And I want to welcome Tony to our program. Tony?
Hey, Paul.
It's great to have you back on our show. I love your music and what you're doing with the Pops. You were actually played with the Pops in March, and
right.
I know you're in town again today. Can you let us know what's on your agenda?
Well, today I'm doing three things related to the Pops. I'm doing a master class at a college this morning, and then a 2 p.m. performance in the Garden. I believe it's at 9th and Wharton. And that's open to the public. And then later and a donor event for the Philly Pops. So had a busy day.
And what I wanted to do is create a little bit of background, give the background of what is going on today. The Philly Pops is an official partner of the Philadelphia School District. The Pops in Schools program was launched in June to supplement and enhance the school district's current music programs. Pops in Schools will reach approximately 1,000 students by embedding Pops musicians in 10 high schools to coach and mentor music students. Instruction in specialized fields will result in expanded opportunities for artistic development and discovery among students. The Pops was a present sponsor of the school district All-City Jazz Festival held at Prince Theater. Just wanted to give that little bit of a background and want to thank you for being associated with the Pops, Tony. It's quite a great thing that you're doing.
Well, thanks a lot, Paul. And I love working with orchestras, and I had such a great time with the Philly Pops. It's really a wonderful orchestra, and I love Philly. It's a great town, so always happy to be back.
I know you are all over the map today, and I want to mention where it is. It is at the Philadelphia Pop-Up Garden. It's at 2 o'clock today, and if you can fit this in your agenda for today, you won't regret it. I know, Tony, you're planning on playing about 3 or 4 songs. Am I correct, if not more than that?
I think probably more than that, yeah.
Okay.
I'll be doing some Sinatra tunes. I'll be doing some of my originals. Playing some piano, and just whenever I do a show now, I tell people I'll be doing covering the last 100 years of pop music. So I kind of pull from every decade, and yeah, it should be fun. I don't think I've played in a garden before, so this will be a first.
Oh, that's good. I love your video of I Love a Piano. You know what? We're going to be posting a bunch of your videos to our Facebook page and to our Twitter accounts. And I want to encourage our listening audience to take a look at Tony as he is a rising star in the music scene. You know what? What we'll do, I know time is of the essence. I'm going to have you introduce the next song and give the little bit of a background for it. And it's the song How I Say I Love You.
Sure. Well, this is a song that I wrote about 10 years ago now, and it came out on my first album. And, I've played it through the years, and it's become something that I play at every show. And now every time I play it, I can't help but think of a certain thing that happened a couple years ago. I was playing in New York at the Carlisle Hotel, and we had just started the show, and it's a small room there. It only seats about maybe 50 people, and the piano's in the middle, and my band's right behind me. Anyway, you never know who's going to walk in there. So we were in the middle of the first song, and then over my shoulder, my guitar player leans over and said, Paul McCartney just walked in. So I looked over, and it was Sir Paul sitting down. And, wasn't quite sure, what do you do? All of a sudden, I didn't expect him. And, what do you play for Paul McCartney? So I started to try to think, what should I do? And I decided to do my show, and he was the best audience. He sang along to the songs that he knew, and then he was really attentive to my original stuff. And then he stayed for the entire show. And then after we played our last chord, he got up, and I thought maybe he would leave. He actually lives at the Carlisle. But instead, he started to walk over to me, and then the whole room just got really quiet while this happened. And he put out his hand and said, "Hello, I'm Paul." And we had this great little talk about music, and he wanted to talk about this song that you're about to play, called "How I Will Say I Love You." And he said that he really liked it. He said love songs are hard to write these days because so many songs have been written about love, but he thought that I had written a new one, and I'll never forget that. So then I tried to give him all my CDs, and I never saw him again. But
all right, what we're going to do, we're going to play the song. Thank you so much, Tony, for taking time out of your day. I know you'll be jumping around like a Mexican jumping bean all throughout the day, so believe me, I want to thank you for taking this 15 minutes of your day and making this Your Music Matters morning show a little more special.
Thank you so much, Paul. Great to talk to you again.
Great to talk to you. And here we go with How I Say I Love You.
Sing the blues, I'll listen intently. be at your door. Cry out loud, I'll hold you till it's over. And that's how I will say I love you. Fall asleep, I'll wake up beside you. Feel my heart beating next to yours. Lose your way, I promise I will find you. And that's how I will say I love you. What would I do to show my love to you? Leave my whole world for 1 minute with you. Break the rules, I'll bend them around you. Play the fool, I would never know. Break my heart, I'd still be glad I'd found you. And that's how I will say I love you. Break the rules, I'll bend them around you. Play the fool, I would never know. Break my heart, I'd still be glad I'd found you. And that's how I will say I know I'll always stay. And that's how I will say I love you.
And that is Tony DeSare. And we want to thank Tony for taking the time out of his really hectic and busy schedule for today, for coming on our program. And that is how I say I love you. I hope you enjoyed that. And we have another song of his. We're going to do a little bit of a tribute to Sinatra as the Sinatra Centennial Celebration is coming up. And his version of Angel Eyes.
Try to think that love's not around. Still, it's uncomfortably near. My old heart ain't gaining any ground, because my angel eyes ain't here. Angel eyes that old devil sent, they glow unbearably bright. Need I say that my love's misspent with angel eyes tonight? So drink up, all you people, order anything you see, have fun, you happy people. The drink and the laughs gotta run. The facts uncommonly clear. I've got to find who's now her number one, and why my angel eyes ain't here. Excuse me while I
Great singers, great songs, great version of Angel Eyes. Enjoying Tony DeSare. And again, we want to thank him for coming on our program with the really busy schedule he has today with the Pops. And here we go with his take on In the Wee Small Hours of the Morning.
In the wee small hours of the morning, while the whole wide world is fast asleep, you lie awake and think about the girl, and never ever think of counting sheep. When your lonely heart has learned its lesson, you'd be hers if only she'd call in the wee small hours of the morning. That's the time you miss her most of all. When the sun is high in the afternoon sky, you can always find something to do. But from dusk till dawn, as the clock ticks on, something happens to you. When your lonely heart has learned its lesson, you'd be hers if only she'd call in the wee small hours of the morning. That's the time you miss her most of all.